Good. Welcome to a special This Is My Story podcast. It's an Intertoto Ramsden's Cup Johnston Paint Trophy special. There's been some European football on tonight, boys. I don't know if you've been paying attention.
Yes, I have.
Don't know what you're talking about.
No, some
Do you want to enlighten us all what happened?
Please. No, it's fine. That's enough. We've said enough. The people listening know. They know. Remember we pissed the Vida League last year? Well, This team wouldn't even got in the Vida League. That's how shite they are. There you go. Anyway.
Which team are you talking about? Hibs or...
I was going to say both of them, Probably both of them. Probably both of them. That's how bad... I can't even tell you who they played. I just know they got pumped. That's all that really matters, isn't it? We've got some interesting stats that we'll probably be putting out over the social medias over the next coming days, just for a wee laugh. Why not? Top of the league. We're winning this league. We'll probably be in the Champions League next year. Might as well have a wee laugh at the Intertoto Diddy Cup or whatever it's called nowadays. That wasn't even real Europe, wasn't it, though?
No, this is a Diet Europe.
It's like the Europe you get in Avon magazine, isn't it? It's like you have to save up coupons and vouchers. The tablet and macaroon European Cup. There you go. So, welcome back to This Is My Story Pod, your Hearts podcast, unofficial Hearts podcast. We are unaffiliated to football club, and everything that we say is our own opinion, and always rubbish, as you've just heard by the opening 3 minutes. Sam, what's been happening?
Not much, mate. Not much, really. On holiday next week, so you'll not have to listen to me talk shite patter, but...
Thank Christ for that.
You actually away somewhere, or just...
I'm going to the lovely abroad place called Fife.
Alright, nice. Nice one. So you can't join because they've not got Wi-Fi yet?
No electricity or anything, man.
Are you going over to Burnt Island for the shows?
No.
Didn't even think of that.
To write them. Get a note or something to say that you're big enough. You are a real boy, and you can get on the Big Dipper or whatever it's called there. Ando, what's been happening with you?
Oh, nothing.
Hey.
Hi, all right, Tam. Not much. I've been sorting Shanks's emergencies tonight. Obviously, you for anyone that's eagle-eyed will have noticed that Shanks can't be with us tonight, and we wish you all the best of luck. He's had some minor dramas to do with relations flying over from a foreign country, so I've been acting as advisor and travel agent for him. So, best of luck, Shanks. When you listen back to this, I hope everything's okay, given the fact that the amount of shit that happened to you today, and it's not even Friday the 13th until tomorrow. I've got my fingers crossed for you, buddy.
Kev?
Nothing much. Played golf at the weekend. Somebody missed out. And surprisingly, the golf was good. Weather was brilliant. So for that point of view, I've done absolutely fuck all else.
There you go. And that's the first shot taken the night. And the first point from that point of view for everybody that's playing the This Is My Story Pod drinking game. You can take a shot.
Kev, just to ask a wee follow-up question on that, I would read from that because Corbett wasn't there and the golf was good, that's normally because he schools the fuck at you. And he wasn't there, you were actually half decent?
No, not at all. Mr. Corbett had a bit of a blow-up the last time he came to play my place, so no, it's not always the case, Ando.
So what Kev's saying is there was no witnesses there to say that the golf was good.
This was not the report card I got in the group chat about the golf, but never mind. As always, we'll dive through what's happened in the week. We'll go through some headlines. We'll get shout-outs from last week's Shanks McCant Remember. So successful that he's decided not to come back onto the pod, as Ando has just told everybody. So we've decided we've made up some of our own Shanks McCant Remembers, and we've tried to mimic his absolute horrendous patter. So we'll go through that, catch up in the Predictor Fantasy Football. We will review briefly St Mirren, even though we dived into some of the detail in the live reactions, and then we'll preview the cup game versus Celtic. That's pretty much everything for the week. Anything else you want to talk about, boys?
Nah, if there's any breaking news, as and when it happens, we'll probably laugh at that. I've not watched any of the pre-match stuff from that team from Leith, but I don't know. We'll wait and see how it goes.
And we can see over your right shoulder that you've taken purchase of the new away top.
I did, and I'm actually raging because, and everyone that's in our groupie will know, Brad's beat me to buying this by about 5 minutes. I wanted to be the first arsehole that bought it on the podcast, and unfortunately I was second. However, I did get it delivered first. It's a handsome bit of gear. I'm very, very, very happy with it.
It's true. There's a whole different rabbit hole to go down of adults buying football tops, but we'll move on. We'll sidestep it because for this season, as you've got number 20, because you've got number 26 on the back, we'll say that it's acceptable for this season and this season only. Cool. As always, you can catch us on social media. You can get in contact with us on Twitter at ThisMyStoryPod. You can catch us on the website admin at thismystory.uk. You can get us on Instagram, which is thisismystory1874.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Bike Speed UK. Any Jambo using the promo code ThisIsMyStory will get 10% off at checkout.
For every biker's every need, think Bike Speed UK. From motorcycle parts and accessories to the best biker wear. Think bike, think Bike Speed UK.
Cool. Ando, I think Shanks left you last week's answers and the shout-outs for everybody that managed to get it right.
He sure did. So, in order, the first one was Livy 5-0. For everyone that can remember that game. The absolute shit show. The next one was a 2-2 draw against Hibs. And then the final one was Gretna 1-0 victory against us. So, then the 5 guys that got it correct. He has actually added here.
I was going to say, let Tam add that part in.
What was that?
I didn't get it last week.
5 guys that won. I was like, let Tam add in that part since it's still not got it for last
week. Shanks has, in his message, has put, lots have tried, but most didn't get Gretna. The below got all 3. So well done to Graham Douglas. Amoruso lets it run, obviously, because he wins everything. Andy Dixon, Ralph Smith, and Ian Cleary. So well done to you 5 guys for getting all 3 of those games correct. And we'll see how you fare with our shite chat that you're going to listen to in a few minutes.
Is it well done, or is it more worrying that they can get into that mindset quite quickly?
The Gretna one was a tricky one, wasn't it?
Aye.
It was. The one that worried me was how many people went for a bottle of bucky with Shanks before one of the matches. They all seem to be there, so he must have a squadron that he carries around with him at games. But never mind, we'll gloss over that.
Just before we even do the next, our versions of the Shanks McCant Remember, have we all picked games that we got beaten? Has anybody picked a game we might have won?
No.
I can't really answer that. I can't answer that question because I'll give it away.
Don't get away. Don't get away. But there seems this was not the object or the intention of this feature was to just go around all the games that Hearts didn't win, but seems to be a theme. So this week's Shanks McCant Remember. Ando, what's your attempt?
Right, so here we go. We've got 4 clues for you. The first one. This is one of my claims to fame. Is that the right way to say it? I accidentally hit Stefan Mahe on the back of the leg with a pie that I launched at someone else.
I was going to say, it wasn't his nose that hit it out your arm, was it?
No, unfortunately not. I was aiming for someone completely different. I had a half-eaten pie in it, still in its wee tinfoil case, and I launched it from the lower section of Wheatfield where I was sitting, and I was way off the mark, and I hit Stefan Mahe in the back of the leg with it. Turned round, gave me a look, but I'm sure he doesn't remember. Second point, I had 2 bottles of Buckfast before this game. It was the absolute perfect warm-up, and it's one of these games that will live long in the memory. The third clue, a wee lad from Shotts created both of the crucial moments in this game. All right, wee lad from Shotts created both the crucial moments. And then the fourth clue is, it's probably the best thing that Mark Donaldson has ever done in his life. The commentary on this game was superb. There's nothing that he can do or will do that will be better than this. So there's your 4 clues.
It's a fair one. And just so that folk know, Shanks McCant Remember, if you didn't listen last week, we should have said this at the start, is basically we would give you some clues based on a game. Doesn't have to be historic, doesn't have to be in it, just be a game that we remember. So there we go. That was game number 1. Kev, what you got for game number 2?
Game number 2. So abroad we would fly for a week in the sun. To the same bed twice. Leave that there. The kickoff was delayed due to our complaints, and we finally partied the night away.
Nice one. Number 2, decent. Right, I've went full Shanks with my one.
Oh,
Tam,
God.
are you gonna do your one? Or are you tapped out?
We'll see how this one goes.
All right, okay. You've only been to 3 Hearts games, and they were on the last 3 weeks.
I know.
So it could only be Cove, Rangers, Cali, Thistle, or Celtic.
There's been a ballot for the 28 years of my life, is there no? I've missed the ballot every time.
You won them all. You won every ballot. Right, my game. Burst on White Russians pre-match. Still buzzing on baguettes from the first leg. Size 10 on the back of the boy in front of me after watching a 30-yard screamer ruin my Euro dream. Boy signed for Rangers a few years later. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
There's my Shanks McCants. Right.
Nice one.
Cove Rangers, go for it, Tim. Interviewed Joe Savage pre-match. Held
Had
hands
to
with
interrupt
Shanks.
Ando for going for a pish 5 times during the game.
Pre-match pint at the time of arms. You've got it already. I've not even got it left, man. I'll go for it. So, first time Easter Road. Captain got sent off early for a push. Hibs were up till the last minute. It was a shite day until the magic Irishman scored in the last minute. My pal Corbett was pretending to play left mid before he got swiftly huckled off the pitch. And booked himself a night at His Majesty's finest hotel.
Lovely.
That one's definitely staying in.
Aye.
Definitely.
And I didn't have to stay in any hotel. I was kindly asked to leave and not come back. But it's fine. It was a different game that I had.
It was a different one. Sorry, apologies, man.
What are you going to say, Kev?
I was just going to say, didn't waste a good story, mate.
Aye, that's true. That is very true. Right, let's bring it all crashing. So before we move on, we'll do what we did last week. We'll put the graphic up and answers on a postcard as usual. For next week, let's bring everything crashing back down to reality with Ando. Give some updates on the predictor for this My Story League, and then if anybody cares, we can talk about fantasy football.
Well, the only one thing I'm going to say is death to the Corbett household, because Corbett, you beautiful bastard, overtook me. You're top of the show host league on 7 points, then it's me on 6. Brad's on 4 along with Kevin Tam, and Shanks still has a fantastic fuck all for the season so far. If we're looking at the top 10 of the competition all in, we've got Court top on 12 points, Robert Gill on 11. Not going to mention all the names, but there is a notable mention for Big Bill Corbett that you'll remember from episode whatever it is, when Big Bill had his bangers out. The father of said beautiful Liam Corbett is in 10th place on 8 points, so well done to Billy Corbett. Check out our social media tweets. I'll put one out in the morning showing the latest table and the predictions for this weekend's game against Celtic are now open, including the bonus questions. So make sure that you head over to the website, thisismystory.uk/predictor, and get your guesses in for this match. That's you.
Magic. My mum must be playing the predictor or something, because my dad's even worse than all you at remembering Heartsters. He's still got Dave McPherson at the back, man.
What's working for him?
Well done, mum. Keep it up. Right, that's what she says to my dad. Anyway, but move on. Right, headlines for the week. The good news is, as we've been speaking about the last couple of weeks, we've been obviously discussing it. It's been a hot topic, but the club announced the other day that basically for the Aberdeen game we'll have all season ticket holders in. Now there's no restrictions now in it. We'll have, even because tickets went on general sale as well for the Aberdeen game, haven't they? It's not just season ticket holders.
Yeah, there's a general sale of tickets as well. So I guess it will be 100% Hearts fans. I don't think we're saying giving any away to Aberdeen. Is that right?
I don't know.
Let's
Hopefully.
hope
I think so.
We'll touch on that in a wee minute. But yep, I was down Tynecastle today, buying our season tickets. I think we've all got season tickets now, haven't we? Some of us renewed, some of us did the Hearts Pass, and some of us did we'll wait and see if we're actually going to get in before we renew. But I think as of yesterday, so today's Thursday, yesterday Hearts announced that we had sold 1,500 tickets in 24 hours, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that number go over 12, maybe 13,000 by the weekend, because when I was down today, we were selling pretty much, I think, all of Section G is gone now, nearly, other than sort of single seats. Section N sold out, most of the Wheatfield's gone. So, unbelievable. It looks like we'll probably sell out of season tickets, I would imagine, before the derby, which is phenomenal effort in it.
Definitely. It's like them just to tie into that, and maybe you're going to come on to it, but what happens if we sell more season tickets than our COVID allowance?
Well, that's all gone now.
Oh, is it all gone? Oh, sorry.
It's all gone now because of the way the things have worked and the restrictions being lifted or whatever. Now we don't have to worry about the COVID restrictions in terms of, I think we still have to enforce the red zone, which is basically behind the dugouts where any of the players, maybe because the players aren't all allowed to sit in the dugout, they have to be spread out, all that weird shit. Even though they score, they all jump at each other and gaff each other and all that, but they can't sit next to each other on the bench. Can have showers with each other and laugh at each other's bobbies and that, but no, you can't sit 2 feet away from each other on a bench, which is weird as hell.
In the fresh air.
And then the tunnel, because we've got the 2 tunnels. Again, if you want to be pedantic, why are we still using the tunnel in the Wheatfield? Why can they just not use the away changing room in the actual main stand now? Every other club in Scotland is, but that, I suppose, it's an asset, isn't it? If we can keep the team separated and it helps us get as close to a full attendance as possible, then I'm all for it. So it looks like Aberdeen's going to be a sellout, 100% be a sellout for the derby, which is totally class. So well done to the club for applying whatever pressure was needed to the council and making sure that we got back in.
Yeah,
probably just too scared of you, actually, to be honest with you, Corbett.
That was
didn't want to set their golden media boy.
Just about to say that exact same thing. Is that, like, I rely, see all this inner workings of, like, the machinations of how everything works behind the scenes. I absolutely rely on Corbett in our group chat, and he hasn't put that in our group chat. This is the first I've heard of it, so I didn't know any of that. So, but that's fantastic news.
Well,
if you're going to have a full house against Hibs, that's outstanding.
And the best thing is, we'll have a full house and they'll all be singing the songs that I've been writing that you'll have seen on Twitter. I've added a new, I've added a new string in my bow when it comes to making Hearts better. Anybody want to sing my song for me? Or
remember, is this the Ollie Lee sort of augmentation that you've done?
See when we're at Tynecastle next Sunday and everybody's singing it, I'm just going to sit there like that. Yes.
You say everyone's going to sing it. You're going to be back up at the back of section G, just singing it yourself.
But him and Big Bill.
I'll be getting my damn backing vocals, man. That'll just be me singing it. But the club have done well for pushing it through, because as we'll have all known and we've spoken about it loads and loads and loads, the council seem to be being pretty arsey when it comes to getting fans back in. So I can't wait. Like I said, I was down and around Gorgie today, and like when we were there for the football or whatever, it's just great to see folk kicking about. Do you know what I mean? There's people in the club shop, there's people buying season tickets, there's people in and out of the shops in Gorgie. It's just something that's been needed for the area for ages and ages. So roll on next Sunday. I, for one, cannot wait.
It's going to be good.
Definitely. Might even get myself a wee Gorgie Road chippy on the way home.
Aye, that's what you want, Gorgie Fish Bar. Exactly, that's what you want. And then, since we're talking about it, but again, let's have a wee bit of a discussion, because it seems to be a bit of debate kicking about on Twitter in terms of allocations for away fans and away trips and all that sort of stuff. So we play Celtic obviously on Sunday in the League Cup. Celtic aren't allowing any away fans to travel, but as you'll have seen probably all over Twitter today or whatever, there's still probably 40,000 tickets available, whether it's went to a general sale. So where's your thoughts? Where do you come down on the fence of away fans and all that sort of stuff, Sam?
Basing it on Hearts' side of things, 2 weeks ago at Tynecastle, it was much better without them being there. So if we can just repay the favour when they come back to Tynecastle and just give them as little as possible for a league game, that'd be nice.
It's a strange one, and I think it's a conversation that I think needs to be had. Ando, what's your thoughts on it all?
I think looking at it from an influence point of view, for the very small amount of tickets that we would even get at Celtic Park for a game like that, it's like we're not going to make that much of a difference. I'm kind of in the same camp as Tam for the first time ever, which is, right, you know what, if they're not giving us fuck all, that gives us the right to stick two fingers up at them and go, actually, you know what, whatever the rules are, you're not getting in here, and just try and stifle them for our home games. I'm all for it.
It is a weird one, like, because I love away days, we all do, but I also love Tynecastle being filled to the brim with Hearts fans. Again, we talked about it last week or on the live reactions. It's, for me, it can't be any coincidence that the Old Firm have played their two opening away games of the season to absolutely no travelling fans, and they've lost both of them. We had 0 bookings against Celtic at Tynecastle, which must be one of the first times in God knows how many games. I think it's something that it might just be coincidence. You never know, but there seems to be something in it. Kev, what's your thoughts on it all?
Do you know what? As you rightly say, we all love an away match, right? We all love our away trip on the train, bus, whatever it may be. And we're really going to be that bothered about it this season if we see no away games, and from that point of view, no away fans inside Tynecastle. If that makes us stronger for the season ahead, then I'm all for it. I'll happily give up a stupid wee trip to Motherwell with dragon soup and Christ knows what else that you boys drink on a train to deepest, darkest Wishaw or whatever it is.
Can I play devil's advocate for a minute on that point?
Nice. The second shot of the night, if you're playing along with the This Is My Story podcast drinking game.
My devil's advocate point would be that, you know what, I love going to Easter Road. I love going there because it's like I've been to Easter Road and seen us win more times than I've seen us lose. The thought of not getting in Easter Road for an away game because we maybe don't let them in for a home game because of the restrictions or whatever, then that upsets me. I'd like to be selective and say that Aberdeen, Rangers and Celtic, fuck all. You're getting fuck all at Tynecastle. You're not coming in. But I'd quite happily let Hibs fans in if it means that we can get to Easter Road for an away game.
That was where I was going to go with that one. But yeah, thanks very much, Ando.
No worries. You're welcome.
I think, don't get me wrong, we're in a different situation here from, like, for example, I absolutely buzzed off seeing the scenes at Aberdeen versus Levy. Like that, for me, I'm all for that. I know people are like, oh, it was Levy, who cares? 2 games in. That's like 2 years of pent up emotions and not being able to see your football team last minute winner. I am all for those scenes. And let's be honest, there's teams like Livingston, St Johnstone, Ross County, Motherwell, whoever else is in the league that physically won't be able to sell their allocations of tickets. So that sense, for me, it seems stupid not to allow away fans in because they'll fill your step. But Hearts, if we sell out all of our tickets, all of our season tickets and stuff, then I'm happy for us to sell the rest of the tickets to Hearts fans. And like you said, I want a full Roseburn with Hibs fans for the derby because I want a full South Stand or whatever it is at Easter Road when we go. But in terms of, someone's tweeted us saying it the other day and it got hundreds of tractions and it's something I absolutely agreed with. I would happily, and I've said it before, and we've all said it, I'd happily pay an extra 20 quid or 25 quid on top of my season ticket if it meant that Celtic and Rangers got literally the bare minimum of tickets that were allowed for Tynecastle. Because
100%.
for me, I don't want 4,500 of them in the stadium singing their nonsense, doing whatever they want. They break the kiosks, they charge in with fake tickets. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want them getting the full thing. We get 800 tops at both return the favour and sell, look after our own type thing. So it is a bit of a good debate. Like it is a strange one because clearly emotions are high just now in terms of restrictions being lifted and everybody being able to go back or whatever. So it's something that the club are clearly not selling season tickets in the Roseburn, so there will probably be some scope for away fans to come in, which is fine, but it's just how do we manage it? Because we sell out season tickets for Hearts fans and then we have a waiting list for season tickets or whatever. I would like to see Hearts fans get priority over those tickets first and then decide how many away fans get into the ground. So, again, just talking about that there as well, the two biggest clubs in the country, the ones that have basically dictated, one of them dictated winning a title when they won 8 3/4 or whatever it is by the vote. Do you know what I mean? The other one's trying to pull out of the Premiership sponsorship deal. The two biggest clubs, the ones that we're all supposed to bow down to. It looks like Rangers will probably have less than 30,000 at their game on Friday, and Celtic are looking at, like I said, less than 40,000 for the game on Sunday. Do you know what I mean? Like, these are supposed to be the biggest clubs in the country, and they can't get a sell it when they've been stuck away for 2 years. There's been more people at the protests outside Celtic Park than there has been inside it. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Cool.
It's good though. I mean, I quite like to see the sort of pain that the old firm, if you can even call it that, them anything that upsets them helps me.
Same.
Simple as that.
Same. It's fun and games, right? And then that brings us for a serious point there when we're talking about fans or whatever. Obviously, you'll have seen on Twitter, we've spoke about it before. We are trying to engage with the football club in terms of creating a better atmosphere inside Tynecastle. So you'll have seen on Twitter during the week that we sort of canvassed opinion on sort of a tifo display for the first derby. We've obviously invested in the Zal flag. We're just trying to come up with any idea where we can get and unite the Hearts fans to make the atmosphere at Tynecastle better. Obviously, Section G, Section N are normally the sort of focal points of the stadium in terms of generating the atmosphere. But for me, I think the club, we need to do more in terms of get the ultras or the young guys involved more, manage them properly where they can actually help create an atmosphere and then just turn into wee wanks because they're sort of frustrated at where they are. So when we have a wee bit more information, we are hoping to get a conversation with the club next week. Obviously, we want to talk about potential for areas of safe standing, flag, tifo displays, all that sort of stuff. So give you updates as and when we get it from the club. But again, it's another positive from the club in terms of listening to what folk are saying. This started with, I think folk were tweeting the goal celebrations for Suter and just saying, like, imagine if Tynecastle was full to the brim, or imagine if there was like safe standing in the bottom half, the bottom quarter of the Gorgie Road end or the whatever, and it's just gathered momentum. And now, like I said, I reached out to the club to say, look, there's a lot of interest in making some form of singing section, ultra section, but like pull it properly together and manage it properly so that we can actually get it going instead of it being, we've had a couple of failed attempts where, a 14-year-old stole a drumstick off Ross County or whatever and it made the press and then they got banned. They got banned for Tynecastle for a year or whatever, and we had all the Tommy Robinson, we hate Jambo's kickback, the Hearts fans are racist crap and all that shit as well. So it'd be good to actually try and get something pulled together where we must be the only club in Scotland really, or the only big club in Scotland that doesn't have a proper ultra section, if you know what I mean, and I think it's needed. Ando.
Just it's just really to elaborate on the point about the club seemed really in favour just now, and obviously you'll know because you deal with them pretty much day in day out because you're the media darling now. But the shift that we've seen during COVID and obviously the start of the season about how the club are far more receptive to listening to what the fans want to say or what they have to say. Sorry, has been absolutely remarkable. So it's like, can you imagine the conversations that you're having with the club just now happened even 1 or 2 years ago? It'd be unheard of. It's absolutely a step change in the way that the club is being run, and that's all. That all comes down not only to you, but obviously Kat and the comms guys that work at the club. And it's absolutely brilliant to see.
And I think, like you said, it's media and fan engagement and stuff is changing. Like, you can see that now. You know, you look at, for example, you look at the two different worlds that are and chasms that are growing in football. You got all the messy drama, nonsense shite that you've seen from signing for PSG. Do you know what I mean? The fake tears, the greeting, the videoing him getting in his car, video him in his gear down, and it's like, who cares, man? Do you know what I mean? Like, a millionaire's having to lose. Oh, he's losing 25 million a year. Who fucking cares, man? And then you've got the other side of it where it's like us, we're at the bottom, where clubs realise that actually it's the fans that are the lifeblood. It's the fans that make the place. It keeps us in jobs and all that sort of stuff. So it's good to see that shift, and it's good to see that the club are willing to engage with us. Like, there's still, for me, a long, long way to go. You know, we've said it loads of times before, and we'll keep saying it. The communication for me between club and fans can be better. There's things that we still score on goals with. There's still open goals that we miss in terms of quick wins and doing exactly what the fans want type thing. But like you said, Ando, from where we were a couple of years ago to where we are now, it's great. So, you know, let's keep the pressure on. Let's keep making sure that we can get that dialogue with the club as well. So yeah, that's pretty good.
Absolutely.
Anything else happened in the week, football-wise, that's worth talking about? We've had a couple of rumours, transfers, potential. I think Demure has officially joined this other club now, hasn't he? He put it on his Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, he's away.
Kev?
I think the only bit of news, or the good bit of news that was worth talking about, the Evening News are commenting that we're in talks with John Souttar about extending his existing contract, which can only be a great thing. I know that, you know, we've stood by him over his injuries over the last few years, and then the last time he came back, he spoke about it quite openly about how to make sure that he was in a positive frame of mind, didn't have to worry about, you know, the financial implications or any issues in regards to his contract. We're going to stand by him and give him all the required rehabilitation aspects. So from that point of view, it was great, and it looks it looks like he's also turned around and done the same thing back. So I hope that we can pin him down to a half decent contract, and we can continue to see him playing in Maroon for a good few years ahead.
To be fair, if we sign him on a good contract and he stays fit, he'll go for millions, man.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. And the good thing that we have as well, and the good thing is we've sat and we've spoke to Savage. I kind of get the impression that he's not a dafty. He'll understand that. Do you know what I mean? And I think they'll play on the fact that, you know, it won't be lost on John Souttar either. He's talked about it in his interviews, the interview after Celtic. You know, that the club stood by him. So I would be very, very, very shocked to hear that he wouldn't be interested in signing a contract extension as well. And again, the club being on the front foot, I'd be pushing Michael Smith to sign a new contract as well. Like, you might as well, you've got to protect your assets. You've got to get them on contracts and stuff. So I was pretty happy with that. Obviously, some rumours sort of started surfacing about some guy for Juventus, but I think Hearts have kind of distanced themselves from it. He played with Kilmarnock or something, didn't he? He was on loan or something like that.
Don't think he was that great.
It was show host Brad that started that rumour. To be fair, the first I heard it was for him.
He's pretty good at starting rumours as well, Brad's. Again, and I'm not to be this guy, we'll talk about it in a wee minute when we talk about St Mirren as well, but I do think we need a centre back. You see it, yes, boys shouldn't he jump and turn his back with the cross, but your centre back is standing 2 yards for the 6-yard line and he doesn't have a player. His boys run off him. He's not grabbing anybody. He's no even just try to cling on to something. He's an absolute no man's land. They couldn't tell you who was near him or who was behind him or whatever, and they score a free header. And you can say that Nando should have covered or whatever, but it's that almost that old cliche thing of being like, right, well, if in doubt, wipe everybody out. Do you know what I mean? Just, it doesn't matter if you've got your man or not, just win the ball. Do you know what I mean? If you have to take out 3 of your own players, you got to take it anyway. You just get that ball and make sure that you're there. He didn't know where he was, and again, he started the season well, and I didn't want to come down on him or whatever and start hammering him. But I think the more that you see just how caviar Suter is, you know, it's sort of highlighting more and more the sort of inadequacies of Halkett or the weaknesses in his game, so to speak, if you know what I mean. Because I think he has started the season pretty well. Again, we've said it loads and loads of times. There's something that I really want to like about Craig Halkett. Like for ages, we've spoke about having, you know, donkeys like Whelan and Aaron Hughes and Don Cowie and all these ex-pros that have just come here for a wage, you know, and we've got somebody like, well, it's a new season, Jink.
I love it how you call them ex-pros. Ex-pros. When they came to us about ex-pros. What the fuck?
They tapped out, man. They were only here. Aaron Hughes was about 48. He was high school with my dad. But you know, you got these guys that are just here to get their coaching badges, get one last payday. They were fucking half-arsed. They were 50% in, 50% out. They couldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then you've got someone like Craig Halkett who is clearly 100% in. You know, he gets hearts. You know that he gets hearts. You can see that in him. But he's just sometimes a wee bit limited. So it's good to see that we're looking at a centre back, because that would be decent. Did we talk about us letting? We said that Roberts and Popescu could find new clubs. Have we spoke about that?
Nope.
Oh, I didn't know Roberts had been told.
Yeah, both of them been told. Is it worth talking about it? No, because they're both shite. So let's move on.
The only one thing that is worth talking about it is that they're both Robbie Nielsen signings that haven't worked out.
Yeah, true. But then I think, like we've said before, if we're going to be these guys, then that was John Murray, the old scouting network, the old way of bringing in players. If you look at the players that we've brought in this season,
pre-Savage,
pre-Savage having his men in the place that he wants to have them. So yeah, you can say that. And again, they're not bad guys. You know, they've came up here and there's no our fault that they're shite. They're just not good enough for Hearts. So
yeah,
fair enough if they move on.
Nah, agreed.
You went on the live show Saturday. Did you manage to catch up on anything? And if you were, I can't remember that that's how much you contributed. But have you had a chance to watch the St Mirren game or whatever? You got any thoughts on it?
I was not on the live show, so I'm glad I'm not memorable. That's fine.
Have you been on the night? When did you join? Right?
Got a dodgy stomach again. I've been in it.
It's good to see you, man. What have you been up to?
I caught the highlights on Sports Scene to go back to that. So to be honest, the highlights probably looked better than I watched the live reaction back. I know we obviously sat deep quite a bit, but we won in Paisley. It's all that matters. When was the last time we done that?
James McFadden was quoting me on Sports Scene as well. Weird, isn't it? I better get royalties for that, man. I better get royalties for it. The one thing I would say, actually, I did watch the Sports Scene highlights as well, is they made it look like Hibs, St Mirren battered us. Game was not that. We had more of the possession, more dangerous attacks, more of the play. Yes, they kind of grew into the game's second half or whatever, but the highlights really didn't paint a picture of the game. If I'm being totally honest with you,
no,
Kev, would you disagree?
Well, no, I wasn't going to disagree, but I'm just starting to think, is that maybe some sort of like, you know, Glaswegian media sort of thing?
Oh, an agenda, is it? Kev, you've got plenty of time. Go get a tinfoil. Go get a tinfoil. You must have plenty. You're in a junkie's house anyway.
I've not heard that for absolute months.
And there you go then, if you're playing along with the drinking game, there was a Kev's gaff is minging. You can have a shot. You can have a shot for that. We should add Tam doesn't go to games as well in the drinking game, so you must be absolutely bloated by now. But I thought we played thought played well for Andy Halliday. I've said it before, and I will say it again. I think that Andy Halliday is better as a left wing back than he is in the middle of the park. I would potentially even argue, and it's not that I think he's done anything wrong, but I just think he knows the game better than Cochrane for playing left wing back. I would say Kingsley. I would be happy to see Kingsley, Suter, and Halkett as the back three, and Halliday as left wing back. Mikey Smith is the right wing back. But I suppose these are good problems to have, because again, that is not me having anything against Cochrane. I think he's been brilliant. I think he's been steady as in it, and I just think that Halliday offers just that wee bit more than what he does. But then you can't really kick Cochrane out of the team because he's done nothing wrong. And I suppose they're the things you want in it. They're the headaches you want a manager to have.
Yeah, right. Definitely, because you imagine it was the other way around, and we're struggling to find someone to get that position. That's an entire world of pain, especially in this league when you come up against the bigger teams. So, yeah, good problem to have. Totally agree.
Aye, agreed. And that's pretty much it for Saturday. Again, Liam Boyce, just superb goal. Yeah, you can pick the bones out of the goalkeeping and all that sort of stuff, but that's St Mirren's problem. That's not your problem. You get a striker that's banged it in for 23 yards or whatever it is, bottom corner, set up the first goal, scored the second, heavily involved in the opening goal against Celtic, run his arse off for the free kick and the thing on the build up to the winner against Celtic. Yeah, the boy's gravy. He's absolutely dynamite. So again, another shout out to Boyce because he's been superb.
Definitely,
Celtic.
He's my bestie, and it's also the reason why Tam spent fuck all time actually prepping for the show because he was too busy watching his Call of Duty live stream on Twitch, weren't you, Tam?
Aye, that's true, Tam, weren't you?
It was a bit weird. Like I'm not really into gaming or that.
What, that you're a 28-year-old man watching football players play on the computer? It is a bit weird. I will give you it, man.
Okay.
Are you 28? You're a bit 30 something now, you know?
No, I'm 29 next month.
Is that you trying to get a birthday present, like?
Unfortunately, my birthday's on Monday, so I can't even get a wee shout out. That's shite.
Aye, nah. We wouldn't do it for you anyway.
You're absolutely right. We've never shouted at anybody's birthday on this pod, and we're certainly not starting for your 29th.
Actually, that's a good. Kev, happy birthday, mate, for last week, for everybody in the podcast. Hope you had a nice.
Now we
have. Had a nice podcast.
Fuck off! Was it his birthday?
Hope you had a nice birthday.
I didn't know that.
It's an inside work joke. It was funny.
Okay.
But we'll move on. We can talk about it after. So Sunday, Celtic in the cup. Celtic have won the night. I think they won 3-0.
Aye.
They beat Jobby Neck, whatever they were called, Jobby Neck FC.
Jabroni.
Jabroni.
Aye, the Jabronis, wherever they're for, best team in the world because Rangers got beat on Tuesday, so they're the best. They're the best side. They're back to being the Intertoto champions or whatever it is. Here we go, 10 in a row, all that type of stuff. Thoughts? It's not. Is it a big game for you? Are you wanting to win? Is there as much importance in this game as there is in the league games? What side of the fence do you fall on, Tam?
Free hit for me. Like, I didn't expect to have 6 points at this point. If Robbie Nelson gets a free shot, I think we have to go for it. But they do look decent, to be fair. That new boy they've got up front, I'll probably murder his name. Was it Furuhashi or something? He looked decent and rapid on Sunday there. So hopefully we can keep hold of him out. But I just didn't want them to go do the classic Hearts, go to Celtic Park, sit with 10 men behind the ball and hump it up the field to boys. So I would like to see a bit of performance, but at the same time, to me, I've kind of already resigned to the fact we'll probably get beat. So, aye.
We spoke about it on the live reaction show at the weekend. We were kind of the same opinion, weren't we? That we've always said it, and we'll all maintain it, and all of us will be the same. Hearts can get beat, that's fine. None of us care if Hearts get beat, but there's a way to get beat, and there's a way not to get beat. And what Tam says there, if Sunday we come out, we play 10 behind the ball, trying to contain them, they'll score 6. They'll run us ragged. Do you know what I mean? It's big, massive pitch. There'll be 30,000 there or whatever, how many can be bothered to show up. It's middle of the month, gyro and all that sort of stuff. Probably not enough to buy the tickets. So 30,000. hunters of uncles, hunters of dads, all that, the usual stuff. It will get battered. Just go and have a go. Do you know what I mean? Go try and get on the ball. Go try and cause them problems. They're still terrible at the back. Yep, they might have Joe Hart, but the only thing he's good at is not having dandruff. Everything else, put pressure on him, put balls into the box, try score past him. We'll be absolutely fine. Anybody, Kevin Ando, we spoke about it Saturday. Are you still the same? You in the sort of same idea as Tam, just a free hit?
It is exactly that. Yeah, it's exactly that. If we win, we win. Brilliant. We'll celebrate it like we just won the cup. If we didn't, we move on. We've got bigger fish to fry this season. Do you know what I mean?
2 words: Jobby Cup.
Aye, unless we win it, then it's the
the big cup.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Then it's the best
Yes,
thing
cup.
since sliced bread. But no, it's the Jobby Cup. Nobody cares. To your point, to both your points, and as we've covered in the live reaction, go there, go toe to toe with them. If we get beat, fine, fuck it.
I'm the same. I think there's a slight caveat to that sort of mantra or outlook, is that we then have to prioritise. You can't lose to Celtic and then lose to Aberdeen. Do you know what I mean? Because then that turns it negative. So you're fine if you go and you say it's a free hit at Celtic in the cup, that's fine. But it means that it has to be a free hit, and the mentality has to be, right, well, let's keep ourselves for Aberdeen. Do you know what I mean? So if we're 2 or 3-0 down, 70 minutes to go, get Boyce off, get Janelli off, get Gary Mackay-Steven off, or whatever, start looking to be like, right, well, we've got, like you said, we've got bigger priorities this season, which is do well in the league, all that type of stuff. And again, I don't want to be that guy. The more I've seen of the teams playing, it's a travesty if we're only aiming to finish top 6, because nobody looks great. Nobody looks great. Do you know what I mean? Like Hibs, like I said, Cypheri and all them on open goal absolutely creaming themselves that Hibs were the best side in Scotland, and then they just get pumped by a rake or whatever they're called, and you dig your gelding up with. They looked absolute rubbish. Aberdeen are weird. They keep conceding goals but managing to win. Dundee United, hit or miss. I think that's going to sum up their season. They'll probably be crap in some games, alright in others. Ross County look absolutely dreadful. St Mirren, everybody, we said on Saturday, everybody tells us St Mirren are a great side, and we battered them with 4 players. Do you know what I mean? So, aye, we've got to set our sights higher than that. We've got to be looking to be 3-4 easy. If we didn't win the league, obviously, because we win against Aberdeen or whatever, then we'll be champions and all that. But we'll move on for that.
Definitely.
Cool. That's pretty much it. Anything else happening in the week? Anything else we're building up to? Want to talk about?
We didn't actually speak about that Australian boy, but I suppose when he signs.
Nah,
Because he's months ago, he's still not here.
it's probably another tweet that Brad's made up, just to gain traction. So, cheers, Brad's. Well done.
He's actually doing that. No, that what's it called? What's the one where they move down under or something? It's on at 11 o'clock on every weekday morning, where it's like they choose whether you want to live in Britain or in America.
Spin the wee flag in that.
Aye, he's sitting right now with his family doing that with the flag going, ooh. What's that called, that programme? I can't remember. Place in the Sun or something like that. I don't know.
Something down under. Do you know someone down under?
It's Home's Under the Hammer. Fuck it, why not? Move on.
Fuck. We're not signing Dion Dublin, are we? Holy shit.
What are we talking about? Where are we came with this?
I don't know. I've just been laughing, pretending like I know what the fuck you are talking about. Is it spinning a wee flag about living down in Australia? What?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Well, cities have all got jobs, man. See if Brad's was here, mate. See the amount of time he's got off. He'd have knew it in a second to tell you the hosts.
Of course,
you could have knew the host names and everything, man. That's pretty much it, boys. We will do a live reaction Sunday, depending on the score.
Shall we do a prediction?
Depending on who's available.
I don't know. You want to do a prediction, right? Fine, Tam. What's your prediction?
3-0 Celtic.
Fucking hell.
Right. You told us to do it and then didn't even have it ready. There you go. Fine. Ando.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna say, if obviously I don't want it to happen, but head is ruling heart here. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Celtic 2-1.
Kev.
I've went already in the predictor for Celtic 3-0.
I think I'll be like 6-0 Celtic or something. Easy. I'm not even joking. I think it'll be an absolute pumping. I don't think we'll even attempt to show up. But there you go. Like we said, ask me again on Sunday if it was a free hit. When I'm absolutely fucking raging, I want Tynecastle pulled down. I want Robbie Nielsen sacked. Ask me again on Sunday if it's a free hit.
Aye. Those two strips of my right shoulder will be on fire for the live reaction.
Aye. Right, cool. That's pretty much it. Thanks for
more or less.
Boys, I'll see you on Sunday.
See you then.
All the best.
Bye.
Go on, get it up.